Welcome Wolfpack to our first video of this kind on the NeightWolf49 strategy and simulation channel. I've done similar videos in the survival and military game genre on my other channel, and they're rather popular, so I'm going to start doing a few on this channel as well. This is a game update and my first impression of the new full release version of the Deadliest Catch The Game. I did play this game for a few hours before the full release, and back then I decided that it was still a little bit too buggy to try and do a series or some steady content. Today I returned and played the career mode, and I'm happy to report that the game seems much more stable, but it does still have a few non-game breaking bugs. I was able to play an entire season, upgrade my captain skill, open up an upgrade or two for my boat, and hire some crew to help me out. I will show you all of this and more in the next few minutes. As I said before, Deadliest Catch The Game has moved out of early access on April 14th and into full release version 1.0. The game is listed on Steam at $15 American, but is on sale right now at $10.50 until April 21st. With the full release version came a huge list of bug fixes and updates to the game. I'm not going to list them all, but here are a few major ones. Currently, they're offering a free-to-play demo version of the game on Steam, so you can try it out before you purchase the full version. In Dutch Harbor, you can now update your captain skills, and your vessel can be upgraded to become more efficient. They have fixed an issue with the crew and sorting table limits, and the crew will now sort crabs while fast traveling or time skipping. They have added hydraulic device upgrades and some fixes, and they've also corrected a couple of issues with their water temperature map. They have also added a couple of new achievements, and we can now finish our season in the Dutch Harbor office. I've just told you what I feel are the major fixes and updates. The entire list of fixes are listed in the changelog on Steam. I will leave that link in the description below. The developers also mentioned that there will be a free DLC that will be coming shortly. That is a new vessel based on the Northwestern from the TV show. They did state they were working on that asset, but because of all the bug fixes mentioned above, they were unable to get the programming completed for that vessel. Personally, I respect that they held it back to polish it instead of rushing it out for the full release, only to be riddled with issues. We are not even close to being done, but before I forget, if you're enjoying the content, please hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and setting your notifications to all to be part of the Wolfpack gaming community. This channel is new, but it's growing rapidly with a lot of content just like this and more. For those of you just finding Deadliest Catch the Game, as you open the game, you can customize your name and even the boat you're commanding. You can customize the font and the lettering on the side of your boat. Once you start, you arrive in Dutch Harbor, where you can spend your startup money on bait and gear at the shop and purchase fuel at the fuel depot. You can also learn new skills as a captain or spend several dollars to upgrade your vessel to make your trip more efficient. I did find that your startup cash is primarily for bait and gear. You won't have a lot of extra money after that. The building in the back is the processing plant where you will sell your crab when you return. There is also an office to pay your fines when you return with illegal crab, or you can end your season there if you choose. Closer to the water, we have the bar where we can hire crew members to help us once we have that upgrade unlocked. Once you're done gearing up and learning, or when you're broke, or both, jump over to my vessel and pick your spot to go crab fishing. This is where it starts to get fun. I was a big fan of the TV show, and in my 20s I definitely would have popped out to Dutch Harbor to be a greenhorn for a season just to say I did it once. Your first fishing trip will be a lot of you running around and doing everything. As the captain, you will have to set your speed and heading, then jump onto the deck and get your pots in the water. You will have to operate the crane to place the pots on the launcher, grind bait, bait the pots, put the buoys on the pots, and then launch the pots. Mark my words, in this game you will feel like a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest at some point. Once the pots are in the water and successfully soaked, you will return to them and start the recovery process. Will it pay off, or did you pick the wrong water temperature, depth, or bottom type? This is where we'll see. Operating solo, you will now have to maneuver your boat so the buoys are within a grappling hook toss as you float by. You will have to throw the hook between the two buoys, run back over to the operating panel, and start the coiler. You will then retrieve your hook, attach it to the pot, and guide the pot over to the launcher. Once the pot is on the launcher, you will have to disconnect the hook, move the crab table over to the pot, and open the pot door. You then dump the crab onto the sorting table, and then operate the crane to stack the pot on the boat. Right about then is where you find out that you've sailed by your other 4 pots in the water as you try to do this all at once. Does this sound like a lot? Oh yeah, it's a lot, but it's a lot of fun too. Between the pots or after a few pots, you will have to start sorting the crab. I enjoy this mechanic, and I think this will be my first tutorial of the game. It is pretty easy once you get the hang of it, but it does take a little bit to figure out which crabs are good and which crabs are bad and why. I will link that tutorial in the description below. After you sort the crab, and you will mess a few up, use your totes to throw the bad crabs back into the Bering Sea, and your good crab will be placed in your cargo hold. Once the crab is in the cargo hold, you will update your tonnage. I played this game like that for about 4 hours just to try it out. It's a lot of fun learning all of the mechanics and how it all works. It also makes it that much more rewarding when you unlock the crew management upgrade and you hire crew members. You are then able to assign crew members to each task depending on what phase you're engaged in. This makes it much easier, and all you have to do is fill in the gaps as an extra on the deck. By far, one of the most tedious and time-consuming aspects of this game is sorting crab. A crew member can be assigned to do this, and they execute it flawlessly. I personally had a lot of fun playing this game. There are a few bugs and gameplay still feels a little bit clunky in some aspects, but I found nothing game-breaking that would completely ruin the experience. I do recommend Deadliest Catch the Game, especially if you are a fan of the TV show. In the future, I would love to see either a multiplayer co-op where your friends could work on the same boat, or even your friends operating their own boats as part of the same fleet. Do you have anything in mind for a specific tutorial, or would you like to see more content of Deadliest Catch the Game on this channel? Let me know in the comments below. Once again, if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that red subscribe button and setting your notifications to all. If you also enjoy survival and military content, consider subscribing to my second gaming channel popping up right now. If you enjoy city building games, check out our Ostrov playlist showing up on your left, or you can check out the series playlist of Transport Fever 2 showing up on your right. Click any one of those links and we will see you over there.